Going to shoot a little video here. What I'm going to do is I've got the welding table, and it seems like it becomes a scrapyard, or it's not really a scrapyard, but a place to throw everything. And when you want to get something up on the table and weld it and be able to turn it around, it seems like everything that you've got on the table that you use becomes in the way. So I just happened to have this lift parked here, and it became a very handy place as I was using the grinders just to kind of throw the grinders up. So I was thinking, why don't you make a little stand with just a piece of plate steel, kind of like this thing is, across two posts, and you can just pull it over next to the bench, or the welding table, while you're working, and just throw the grinders on there. Then I thought, well, as long as I'm building that, maybe I put a little tray in it. I can throw some of the other stuff in it, like hammers, or the square can get thrown on it, chipping hammers, whatever else you've got, and it kind of gets it off of the top of the welding table so that you've got room to work on stuff and move stuff around. So kind of that's what this video is going to be about. I'll going to make a little stand, and it's going to be kind of a work in progress, kind of a build as you go type of thing. Maybe I'll put a little shelf on it to throw maybe hammers and files and chipping hammers and stuff like that onto it. So it's going to kind of be build as you go type of thing, however I get inspired to do it. So I'll bring you back when I get it started. Basically what I've got is I'm going to use these two pieces of 1-inch pipe for the posts, pieces of angle iron for the kind of the feet on the legs. So I'll bring you back. One of the first things I'm going to do is I kind of laid out the center, and then just kind of laid out how the pipe will sit in there. So these two other lines are the outside edges of the pipe, so that I can kind of center it up in there. But one of the things that I won't do is, because of angle iron, it's got that kind of a radius bend to it in the bottom of it. The pipe won't sit flat against the bottom of it because it wants to ride up on that radius. So what I'm going to do is take the pipe over to the grinder, grind off just a little bit so that it will sit level in there. Bring it back. I've just got it sitting in there. I ground that off so that it kind of fits better into that beveled edge of the angle iron. I'm going to throw a tack on it. I kind of squared it up a little bit. I'm going to throw a tack on it, and then I'll re-square it and tack it solidly. Okay, so there's some video that's got to be cut out. Guy came in, had to show me the trailer he just bought. Yeah, it'll work. I'll bring you back. I'm gonna do this one the same way. I've laid it out, just roughly squared it. I'll tack it a little bit, re-square it, and then weld it out. Bring it back. So what I've done is clamp the tube in the onto the table and set this plate underneath it, tried to square it up with it. See if this works. What I'm going to do is tack it on and then tack the other leg on and then kind of set it up and make sure that it sets evenly. So I'll tack it, set the other leg up, bring it back for that. Okay, so I've kind of got it laid out on the table, clamped up. I'm going to tack it, and then what I'll do is set it up on the floor, make sure that it sits properly, and if it does, I'll answer the phone. Hang on. Okay, so now we're back from the phone call. We'll tack it up and then set it up on the ground. Yeah, so there it is, sitting on the ground, and it looks, of course my floor is kind of screwed up, but yeah, it looks good. That'll work. Bring it back. Okay, so here's kind of what I was looking for. Put that on there, but now I'm kind of looking for a shelf or something to put down there where I can throw files, chipping hammers, stuff like that into it. Let me see what I've got laying around and I can come up with. I'll bring you back. That's what I was kind of thinking. I've got this piece of orange tube steel laying around here. I was kind of thinking of cutting the top. I would cut the seam side off. Maybe cut it off, cut it a little shorter on the front side. Weld that on there. It kind of fits across there. The posts are about 2 feet apart. Yeah, and this thing is exactly 2 feet. So let me think about this for a while, and I'll bring you back and let you know what I'm going to do here. So I decided I'm going to use that piece of orange tube steel. What I've done is I had this piece of 3/4 inch plate steel drop laying around, so I kind of put it up on the piece of orange tube steel for two reasons: to add some mass to it, to keep it from moving while I'm cutting it with a cutting torch, and to kind of use it as a straight edge for the cutting torch. I've also clamped it, but anyways, I clamped it just to keep it from moving around. I have a tendency of bumping stuff, and when I'm cutting it with a cutting torch, and don't get a straight cut, so that serves two purposes: to clamp it down and as a straight edge and mass, three purposes. But anyways, I'm going to cut it off, and then I'll flip it over and cut the what is going to be the front side of the shelf a little bit lower, just so it's easy to reach in and get stuff out of it if you've got small things in there. Also to be able to see in there, to see what's in there. But I'll bring you back when I start cutting it. Okay, here we go with the cut. I'll bring it back when I reposition that straight edge on the side. When I had positioned that straight edge on the other one, I just eyeballed it. On this one, because I want to cut it down a little farther on it, I'll try and get a rough measurement on it. Doesn't have to be exact, just as long as it looks fairly good. I should be able to clean that up with a grinder. Bring it back. Might as well show you some of this. Okay, so now the debate, the debate is this is that piece of plate steel that I, well, what's left over from the plate steel that I made the plate for the grinders on, and it just happens to be 4-inch. I could weld it onto the end of that. But do I want to? I'm thinking more of a trough and open ends, easier to get stuff in and out of. I don't think anything will fall out of it. I can always weld ends on it later if I needed to, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll bring you back when I get to welding this on. Here's what I did is I clamped it on with a couple of welding clamps just to see how I wanted it. I was kind of thinking of putting it on the back side of the plate that is used to hold the grinders. That way it kind of offsets the weight a little bit. Not that I think it would tip over, but it might be more convenient if the grinders are set up like that. It'd be more convenient to have the stuff accessible and not have the cords in the way if the grinders are up there. So that's what I think I'm going to do, is I think I'm going to weld it on opposing sides. And I had the grinder on there to begin with the other way, just so that I would know that I could do that also. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, it looks fairly straight too, so I kind of measured it from top and bottom, but I'm going to leave it like that. So I'll bring it back for the welding. Okay, we'll sand it up, take a look at it. It's just kind of, yeah, I'm gonna leave that end open because I can set the square in there. I mean, I had the square up balanced on the top part of it before, but and it stays balanced like that. But you can also put it in there. Yeah, that'll work out good. Yep, happy with it. Can put it on that side or hang him over on the back side. Gonna clean it up, you know, grind some of the sharp edges off of it. I don't know if I'll paint it, probably leave it like that, but that'll be it. There it is. Not saying you have to build it like that, just a thought. Use whatever material you might have around. Comes in handy, or it will come in handy.